In a continent of over 1.4 billion people, where resilience meets uncertainty, and history never really sleeps. From protests erupting in Togo to an AU helicopter crash in Somalia, from viral movements to climate crises, currency shocks, and beyond, these are the 10 stories defining Africa's present and shaping its future. You're watching Freedom Square News, and this is Africa on the Edge, 10 stories shaping the continent right now. At number 10, Mpox outbreak intensifies. We begin with a quiet but deadly epidemic. Across 13 African countries, mypox, formerly known as monkeypox, is back with force. Over 21,000 reported cases, more than 200 lives lost. With international health aid from the US and EU in decline, can fragile health systems withstand what's coming? What happens when diseases no longer make global headlines, but still claim African lives? And as bird flu resurfaces in South African farms, killing over 1,000 birds, experts are raising alarms. Is Africa prepared for the next zoonotic outbreak? At number 9, historic drought sparks hunger emergency. The climate crisis isn't coming, it's here. Somalia, Ethiopia, and Malawi are enduring historic droughts, leaving more than 90 million people at risk of starvation. The rains have failed, crops have collapsed, and hope, it's rationed like clean water. Will climate inaction become the continent's greatest injustice? At number 8, economic woes hit South Africa's rand. In South Africa, the national currency rand is in freefall. Inflation is rising. Investor confidence is dropping. Now, Pretoria is pleading with Washington to extend a key U.S. tariff exemption that supports over 35,000 jobs. The stakes? Steel, aluminum, and the backbone of South Africa's industrial economy. Can diplomacy save jobs when markets stop listening? The clock is ticking. At number 7, China's EV invasion gains ground. While the West debates climate, China builds. From Lagos to Lusaka, Chinese-made electric vehicles are flooding African markets. Cheaper, simpler, more accessible. From BYD to Sherry, African roads are being rewired not by Tesla, but by Beijing. Is this the green revolution Africa asked for, or just another foreign dependency in new packaging? Chinese automakers, blocked in the West, are driving straight into Africa. At number 6, Africa's youth revolution. The youngest continent on Earth is stirring. Over 70% of Africa's population is under 30, and they're no longer waiting. They are leading protests, launching startups, and dominating digital discourse. From TikTok to tech labs, from classrooms to campaign rallies, Africa's youth are not asking for change. They are becoming it. What happens when this restless energy meets entrenched systems? At number 5, the rift beneath our feet Africa is splitting. In the Afar region, where Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Djibouti meet, the earth is tearing apart. Scientists say a new ocean is forming. It could take millions of years, but already the ground is shifting. What happens when the continent that birthed humanity begins to remake itself from within? At number 4, Africa's silent infrastructure revolution. It's not grabbing headlines, but across the continent, roads are being paved, bridges built, and ports modernized. The African Development Bank has committed nearly $500 million to accelerate transport and energy corridors. But whose blueprint is this? Is Africa building for Africans, or for exporters, lenders, and outsiders? At number 3, diaspora rallies behind anti-West African leaders. In a dramatic show of solidarity, supporters of Ibrahim Traoré and other Sahelian leaders are making noise far from the continent. From Nairobi to London to Jamaica, the slogan echoes. Hands off Africa, hands off Traoré. What began as coups are becoming movements. Is the West losing its moral capital in Africa? At number 2, protests erupt in Togo over food prices. In Lomé, frustration has spilled into the streets. 7 people dead, dozens injured. What sparked it? Rising costs of basic food. From rice to oil, survival is becoming a luxury. Are these protests isolated, or the beginning of a broader hunger rebellion? At number 1. AU helicopter crash in Somalia kills peacekeepers. A tragic moment in Mogadishu. 3 peacekeepers have died after an African Union helicopter crashed during operations in Somalia. It's a somber reminder of the daily cost of conflict. Even as Al-Shabaab regroups, international focus is fading. Who stays behind when the world looks away? These are not just African stories. They are global stories rooted in African soil. And as the world turns, Africa watches, remembers, and responds. What story do you think will define the next decade? Youth? Climate? Currency? Or something still unfolding? This is Freedom Square News. Subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay informed.